like the subliminal content.
Yes.
Where they flash stuff throughout the movie.
Yes.
And that was probably the scariest part. That and yes, of course, the spider walk down the steps.
Oh, the spider walk down the steps was the best. I loved that. No,
and I never ever wanted to eat these steps
again. I don't blame you. Now, see, I'm going to tell you a quick story about my dad, who Nikki knows and Ike knows how much I love and idolize my dad. They both met my dad, and they know how much my dad means the world to me. And,
yeah, he's incredible.
And I thank you. Dad was telling me about this, and Nikki, you've never heard this story, and I heard this on the way coming home from Colorado. We were talking about The Exorcist, and he told me that when it first came out, which was in 1975, 4 or 5, right around there, this is before he married my mom, and him and his buddy decided to go see this movie, go see The Exorcist. Here's the kicker. They were both drunk when they went to go see this movie. And they were laughing the whole time. I'm like, Dad, you do not go to a scary movie drunk. He's like, no, that's what we did. We were bored. We got drunk. We decided to go see a movie. We decided to go see The Exorcist. And we sat there and we were laughing the whole time. I was like, did you guys get kicked out? No. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, my father went to go see The Exorcist with his friend drunk as a skunk. Thanks, Dad.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's Chris. One hell of a way.
One hell of a way to watch a movie. You're absolutely right.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I strongly suggest you guys check this TV series out. It really got my interest. It really did. What I was going to tell you. So yeah, check out The Exorcist. Like I said, it's every Friday night on Fox, 8 Central Time. And I don't know all of your gut, where everybody's at. So you're going to have to check out and see what time it is. But it's every Friday night.
9 Eastern, 7 Mountain.
So next Friday, you're going to...
Probably 7 Pacific. I'm going to guess.
Probably 6 or 7, something like that. But all right, did you find your horror movie that you want to see?
Well, there's a couple.
Okay.
So there's Lights Out.
Yes, I want to see that one.
There's The Neon Demon.
Which one?
Neon Demon.
Okay.
The Darkness.
Yes. No, wait. Who's in that one? Is that with Kevin Bacon? Because if it is, don't even bother. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I saw Kaylee, my daughter Kaylee, who was on last week with me. Her and I watched it, and we were bored.
Yeah, it is Kevin Bacon. Oh, okay, so you're talking about the bar. All right.
Yeah.
He's got a really horrible score on Rotten Tomatoes too. So okay. Actually, Rotten Tomatoes is one that for some reason, I trust. But there's also Before I Wake.
Okay.
That one just came out on the 9th. Let's see. That's got Kate Bosworth in it. You know who she is?
Say the name again.
Kate Bosworth.
I know that name. Help me.
She. Hold on. She was in Blue Crush. She was the surfer that, little cute blonde surfer. She was in Straw Dog.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, I know who you're talking about now.
Okay, alright. So, there's that one too. There's, multiple. You said you saw The Conjuring too, right?
Yes, and since you brought that up, they're doing a third one next year.
Are they really?
Yeah, I read that. I read that they're doing one next year. And I also read that it only cost them $40 million. And you know how much they brought in? They brought in over $200 million. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But yeah, there's a third one that's coming out next year. I don't know the exact date, but it comes out sometime next year, which I'm excited for.
They're doing a new Amityville Awakening.
Yes.
Don't Breathe. I mean, there's also so much that I want.
Well, and you know, there's quite a few that I want to see, but the one that I am anxious to see, and it comes out this year. It comes out the 21st of October, and that is Ouija Origin of Evil. Have you seen the trailer?
I've seen the first one. I actually just watched it again because it's on the movie channels right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was one of those kids that played with the Ouija board when I was little, so, yeah.
This one, it looks, and I'm very picky when it comes to things like that. There's a movie in the 1980s called Witchboard. That was my do you remember that movie?
I do.
That was my very first Ouija board movie that I watched. I know that movie from front to back because I watch that movie all the time. And when it comes to something like that, I am so picky on. There's a Ouija movie on Netflix that I watched. It was horribly done. The acting was horrible, special effects. I mean, it was all around horrible. And then they did a sequel to that. I can't remember the name of it at the top of my head. And I watched it, and I felt the same thing. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, if you're going to do something, do it right, please. But that's one of the movies I want to see. Did you ever see the movie called The Strangers? They're making a second one. Or it's already out. Hold on one second. But there's, yeah, The Strangers 2. Okay, yeah, you sound about as excited about it as I am. I was not impressed with the first one. I was not. And, another thing that I have seen a trailer for, this was a couple weeks ago, was Annabelle 2. That comes out May 19th of next year. And the trailer for that was twisted. That one was nuts. Yeah, strange. I'm sorry. I was not a big fan of the first one. To me, it just reminded me too much of so many movies that are like that. You know, I just was not that into it. I mean, I watched it, and now see, I liked Annabelle. I really did. I enjoyed it. There's a part in there that Kaylee jumps every single time, and she's seen that movie like 3 times, and she still jumps at that same freaking part. And it's like, girl, have you not learned? You think I'm living with a bunch of amateurs? But
you know, I have to, like, creepy movies like The Witch Potter, you know, the new one that's coming out. Because, like the videography in those movies is so horrible. But I've seen the first Blair Witch so many times, but there are parts of that movie that still I will jump.
See, it takes a lot for me to jump. I mean, when I was watching the TV show tonight, there was a part that, I mean, the characters jumped in, and I'm, laying on my bed watching it, and I just laid there, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're supposed to jump? Oh, okay. Didn't know. My bad. It's hard to get me to jump at a movie. Now, see, Annabelle, I agree, it wasn't half as good as Conjuring does, but I still like the concept of it. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but in Conjuring 2, I'm just going to say one thing. I don't know if any of you guys have seen The Conjuring 2 yet, but there's a nun in The Conjuring 2. And they're going to make a movie based on that nun in the movie, in The Conjuring 2. I don't know when that's supposed to come out. And I'm actually excited to see that because I want to know what her deal is. That's, seriously, I want to know what her deal is. Why is she, all twisted and what's up with her? I'm sorry. Oh, well, then I can't, then you can't come to my house. No, because here's the thing. Okay, over Christmas break, we watched the last Paranormal Activity movie. This was on Christmas break. I get my oldest, Kiera, okay? Now, you guys are probably going to laugh at this. Sitting there watching this movie with my daughter, with both my girls and my husband, and I'm sitting to the right of Kiera. I don't know what part it was, but she freaked out. She jumped and she punched me in my left eye. We had to pause the movie because I couldn't see out of my left eye. Yeah, everybody, my husband and Kaylee and Kiera, they're all laughing, and I'm like, I'm done. So from now on, I will not watch a scary movie with Kiera. She has to be on the other side of the room. Yes, I have a boxer of a daughter. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get a black eye. But she jumped, screamed, and kapow! That's all she wrote. All right. Now, he, I've seen all of them, and I really enjoyed it. We'll have to do a show about that one of these days when you've seen all of them.
I'll watch them so that I can fight with you about them.
Oh, gee Louise. You won't win. There's one other movie that's coming out, but it's not coming out till, February next year. And it's I've never heard of this, but it's a Stephen King movie called The Dark Tower.
You ever read the book?
Dude, when do I have time to read? I know, I need help.
Look,
I know you love
come
me.
on.
I know. I usually. I
The
usually.
whole Dark Tower series, really?
Yes, I'm guilty. I admit it. But yeah, that's coming out February 17th of 2017. I've never read it. I might have to before it comes out. I will. I'll try my best to read it before it comes out in February. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll have to do that. But I'll have to ask my dad because my dad loves to read, and I know he loves to read Stephen King books, and I'll have to ask him about that. And if he has that book, the series, I'll have to ask him if I can borrow that book, the book series. I'm sorry. But yeah,
You need to absolutely see it read the book because you have anything right. Well, the Dark Tower series, it doesn't fit with the stuff like it or Pet Cemetery or anything like that. It's a completely different ideology, I guess. When you look at Stephen King, and then you look at stuff like it that he did that they all flow down here, and then Dark Tower, and the guy's a cowboy.
Yeah. Well, and see, I've seen all of his movies. I've never seen, not all of them. I know there's probably a ton of movies I haven't seen of his, but I've seen quite a few of his movies. I've just never read his books because I've seen the movie first before I read the books. Yeah. And I refuse to, watch, I refuse to read a book after I've seen the movie. I've tried that once. I was very disappointed in myself for doing that. So, well, girls, anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think we hit on it. Everything that I hate is the crazier side of me. I've been away from doing the shows for so long that it was really exciting to come back. and I actually love being live and reading everything that people are talking about as opposed to being on the flip side and writing stuff and listening to you guys. So